So today we have a chance to make history in this Grimsby to glory and get to the Premier League, or are we going to do an Arsenal and bottle it?
Grimsby Town have caught a whopper. Look what it means to the people of this town.
Yes, people, I am only joking, but welcome to the Grimsby to glory. We left it with 5 hours remaining on deadline day in January, loaning out a few players such as the man down here, Francis Souders, gone to Stoke, who we just beat. Cameron Gardner gave us a hard time with Wrexham. We've got players increasing. Raj to a 66. Badgie, we did get out to Burnley, and many more loan deals. I don't like that Nicholas Fontana isn't growing, but when I do show you this budget, I was anticipating more outgoings. We've got £2 million, but the outgoings won't give us money. If you haven't seen the last episode, make sure you check it out. The board aren't giving us it. And what I mean by that is they said the money isn't going back in the budget if we make a sale, but we do have a player scouted. AJ Shretha from Nepal. Would he count as Nepalese? Is that the way of saying it? He's getting promoted. Another nationality into the club to go alongside our Canadian in Campbell. And this is where we make our move, because I was honestly going to try and make a signing with the money we had left, but we do have this man still injured. 2 weeks left of that injury, and we could recall Godson Akintola to the club, which I am going to do. Might not get necessarily a lot of game time, but we needed a bigger squad with next week or next month the FA Cup back in action. We want to sim all the way to the end of the season with Watford, the team we're challenging to win this league against. We've got Charlton, they've got Preston. Should be winnable games for both. As I am very tempted to bring back Cameron Gardner, 73 overall, or make a signing. As Angus Gunn, I've decided I'm not going to renew that contract because next season's going to be when we go for a goalkeeper. This season, we do have Zach Hemming on the first page of the wages which are going. Oh, and I think for once we might skip on the deadline day signing unless there's a loan out there, but I don't think we would get a loan with only 2 hours remaining. However, in the final hour, last video was all about Crystal Palace bidding in for Jack Rutherford. 52.6 million from Manchester United. It's going to be rejected, obviously. I think as a club I can do that. It's like a Mark Gehi move. Don't let him leave without a replacement. He hasn't asked to leave the club, and plus I think they've got a decent player in that position already. They have Ahmad, Innocent, Atta, and the likes of Jack Morehouse. A still rotation for this game against Preston. Oh, sorry, Charlton, which is a win. Norwich City, which unfortunately is a draw. A convincing win against Swansea with 10 men after the 60th minute. And then a cup win against Stockport. Burgessing and scoring in added time in what looked an incredibly messy game. And we are now 9 points clear of Swansea, who I chose to sim. Kutuk with another goal. As I want to move on to other teams I haven't played before in Portsmouth. And a bit of a loaded month next week. So I have rotated the team on February 26th. Just have the deadline day. Don't know why the trainer is on. I've played an unhealthy amount of FC26 this year, so you can turn that straight off with Hakiki. He's in for Rutherford. Rutherford maybe getting a mental rest with all those bids coming in from Premier League clubs in Man United, Crystal Palace. That's a brilliant ball through. Cameron McJannet straight back in the team after that suspension he received, and we need to play better than we currently have been doing. I think we've been good, but we can be better. Darragh Burns finally as a right midfielder, changing from a winger. Victor Johansson in the goal for Portsmouth is a cheat code. Dion Sanderson, Leighton Stewart getting another start. He's part of the squad as it stands. Hakiki, what a goal! When you've got someone like that behind Luke Rutherford or Jack Rutherford, completely forgot his name there. You have to stay confident. It's a Brian and Burmo corner-esque routine like Man United to the edge of the box, but that time fired in ferociously. That is a goal of champions and a goal of teams on the up. Now this next season will be the 6th season, meaning it has been a instant promotion. Oh my days, they've hit the post. It will be an instant promotion and then a stay, and then a promotion, then a stay, and then a promotion. So the pattern says next year we should survive in the Premier League and then go for the Champions League, but I don't think that's going to happen Offside, Darragh Burns. Unlucky. Just keep battling. George McEachran in for Omaregi because I want these players to grow who are our bench players. If we are to make the Premier League, it will mean I don't have to sign there. Passing out from the back like that. It's still 1-0 against the 20th place side, but with the rotation, you kind of understand it. Leighton Stewart has been better. He could have an assist to his name if Darragh Burns could actually cut inside correctly. Incredibly poor for him as they are confirming a transfer. I don't even know who that is. But we are still going in the second half. Portsmouth definitely not out of this game until we kill it off. I like the fact we're keeping a lot of clean sheets with our brilliant defence and Akiki man of the match, except for that pass. Potentially putting us in danger as they're running behind. Hemming with a big save, keeping us with this lead. And from the corner, they almost had a tactic there. It did fall to Regan Poole, ex-Man United. The keeper's come and not got there. What is Hemming actually doing for himself? He did it against Manchester United a few seasons back in the FA Cup. Came and never was getting there. And I do blame him because George McEachran was the man jumping. And George McEachran is small, so he could have punched that without taking George McEachran's nose off. Another bad pass from us in the defence, where we need to be stronger, especially now in defending. There's Ebu Adams with a ball across. Kieran Burgess, very good chest down. Hemming retrieves that one well. He could have cost us 2 points in a title race right here. As Rubio is off the bench for Darragh Burns. It is Rubio. Look at the blistering pace. He can just run, and maybe that's a bad thing. The football quality not actually showing there. And Burgess comes. He doesn't get there. Waddingham, a ball onto Ume. We're going to lose to Portsmouth. Our first team's naturally tired. Dadier and Rutherford. And I targeted this game to actually make changes. And the changes just aren't working for us. Literally, probably the last attack for us. Kutuk back into George McEachran. George McEachran, I can't even speak. He can't get past Thomas Waddingham, who has been marvellous. 10 added minutes, though. We did make them substitutions. Leighton Stewart over the top. That's a good ball for Mislav Kutuk. And what did I say? What did I say in that first half? Now, there's a couple of teams actually chasing us. Watford, Southampton, and Norwich. But I said Hemming wasn't convincing. We need a new goalkeeper of our own. And plus Johansson for them. Amazing. As we do have Hull City up next. Straight back to this first team where Darragh Burns now looks really weak. And we need to be better in the derby. He scores, but we lose and then win in the last minute. Darragh Burns might be the weakest player, rating-wise, but he's good, as Dexter Elliott finally is that left midfielder we were calling him out to be, and we've got 280 rated at the club now. Cameron Gardner was a 74, 18 goals, still only one behind Dadier. We should have recalled him, as I don't like recalling players outside of January transfer windows. Usually teams go for the recall when the teams are in transfer movements. So yeah, I don't want to do it, and we've got a tired team before the FA Cup, which in round 5 we face Everton away from home at Goodison Park. Now usually I'd actually play this game, but we are in a spot of trouble. If Norwich City win their game in hand, they get closer. We play playoff chasers Burnley in the game after as Ruben Amorim. Is he in charge of Everton? I don't know, but we actually go ahead and beat the Toffees away from home in a sim. It is Darragh Burns. He's unreal. And he's round 6 of the FA Cup, actually the quarterfinals. That will be a brilliant run. Haven't checked who we've got. We're away at Turf Moor. Focusing on this league. The league win is more important because I get surprised every time we play a Prem club, but we should be in the Prem with 80 rated in our squad and with the pushing we're doing. However, Ramsey, brilliant save. Zach Hemming one-on-one is so different to Hemming going to punch a ball. He can't read it when it's in the sky. Sane around us, Jukic, brilliant save again by Hemming. Soglo just went to ground to try and stop it. We do have a bit of fatigue, actually, after the Emirates FA Cup, but I'm going to roll with it anyway. We need our best team out, and we need to be winning the game. Last time we were at Turf Moor, it was very boring. I remember that. Rutherford was always favourite to that ball. Darragh Burns sending it down the line. Caio Eduardo. Don't give that as a handball. Never. It was literally trying to take it in his path. As Ogachukwu onto Soglo. Soglo turns Cameron McJanet. Okay. We could go here. Come on. We need to unlock an attack at Turf Moor because Turf Moor is the home of draws. A few different faces with Noah Kenne onto Darragh Burns. Darragh Burns just to try and get it down the wing. Come on, we'll just pass it around the back. Kakuri. I need to try and figure out how to change his hair. I can't do it in the editor for some reason. but I'll definitely look into it for next episode with the kits and everything needing changing. Can we change our fortunes here at Turf Moor? This is decent passing, apart from Noah Kenne when I say it. Fluffing his lines, and oh dearie dear. Zach Emmons made some beautiful stops. Got to stop this from the corner though. Falls to Sane. Kakuri's won that in a very dangerous position for Burnley because McEachran with a beautiful peach chip ball over the top and Kutuk to run through. Caught by Barrera, onto Conti, and into added time, where we don't want to lose it late on like we lost Portsmouth. Kakuri, the block, and Ramsey fires it home. We genuinely could bottle this league. We could be not even going up. I can't believe I'm even saying them words. Bottle jobs, the lot of you. Yes, we're tired. We've gone far in the FA Cup, but it's no excuse to lose here. It is 1 win in 4, and Burnley go closer to chasing us. Leicester next. Still, we've got that 6-point gap. It's a good job we had it. Oh, sorry, it was a 5-point gap. And yes, it is the quarterfinals. Do I want to play them, however? The league's crucial. Oh my days, the mask is slipping. A defeat in that game right there, and then Coventry, a draw, Holder holding us to it, but a point is better than no points at all. Lads, what is happening? Firstly, why do Middlesbrough have the striker Nelson Viper? And secondly, how have we not bottled this? We are now no longer at the top, and QPR still are 7 points off. Potential still to get promoted, very likely. But we have to simulate Brentford, and we do. It's a 2-0 win. After bottling this league, it seems like the players are more focused on the FA Cup because we're into the semi-finals. We are going to Wembley, which we could be doing as well through the playoffs. Losing to the bottom of the league in Peterborough. Norwich City somehow not running away from us, but we had a 9-point gap at the start of this. Now it's only 4 from actual promotion, and Ipswich Town are down there in the league we play next. Look at that, Peterborough only have 19 points, and they beat us. Minus 48 goal difference, and it's the black and white derby with a huge chance to get into the final of the Emirates FA Cup on the horizon. But do we focus on that? There it is at the end of the month. I think we've got to play Southampton. But look at the last couple of months. Terrible. And I know it is still simming games, but I don't want to make this save boring. So we do have to sim quite a few, but after a defeat to Ipswich, can we really sim Millwall? I don't know if we can afford to with Southampton now, only a game after Mill. And thank the Lord for our on-loan striker, Dadye, against the run of play, getting us the win right there as Southampton have dropped down to 4. But this game right here could secure essentially our promotion. Such a huge game on a Tuesday night here at Blundell Park before potential renovation. I'm thinking about a new stadium if we get promoted. This Southampton team won't be easy. This game can decide if we actually win the league or if they chase us and actually stop us from getting promotion in the first place. The championship didn't look very tight until we made it very tight. We're still in a Emirates FA Cup semi-final. Can take some pleasure out of a Wembley trip. But come on, teams that usually bottle promotion like we've bottled it going to the playoffs. Not very hopeful. Downs. That's a terrible start. A potential disaster clash. Shea Charles, the captain of Southampton, 1-0 down at Blundell Park in one of the most vital games ever. Which is great. Great. Rutherford try and make us great again here with an attack. Dadye looking for a bit of space. So close, pulling the trigger. And Soglo looking for him with the cross into the box. At least we've took some dominance. That's handball by Adobe. Surely, if there was a handball in the last game we played against Burnley, that was a handball just as similar. But we're going down Burns' side. Burns is usually the best in game, as that should have been a pass. Caio Eduardo set off too quickly. And Soglo wins the ball back. At least we are pushing here. Defence is out of shape. McJanet's somehow on the right. Dara Burns pass that through the middle. Rutherford now playing through the middle fully. Dadye goes for the chip over the top. Handball. And weirdly enough, our best free kick accuracy is on our centre-half, Lepage. The first free kick we've had in this save. Can it be scored by the Belgian beast? No, but Caio Eduardo should have thrown his body at that a little bit more. Lepage win that header, he does, but it goes to Finn Azaz. Not liking this. Counter-attack. Shea Charles, number 8, Omarege, trying to get back. Oh my days, Hemming has saved us with a last-minute counter-attack in the first half there. Rutherford, he floors his man, but he doesn't floor us by getting the ball, doing one of his mazy dribbles. As I just took a look at the team sheet at half-time to see if we make any changes, and I'll tell you what, the team is growing in overall. Darragh Burns, Cameron McJanet, Zach Hemming in the goal. But it's not growing on the field for some reason. Don't know if it's just done a direct swap for player growth instead of actually team growth. Darragh Burns, very, very weak on the ball. Finazaz, there was a ball through there. Omarege, a perfect slide. Need to get away here. Rutherford across to Dadier. Caio Eduardo, that's not a good run, my friend. You're in his way. But Dadier waits up for Soglo. And if we could get that back into Rutherford, that's a good return ball. Rutherford. Oh, I thought that was it. I thought that would be the special goal, and I hope QPR are losing whoever they're playing, and we just can't get out. Cameron McJanet would at the near post. Would have offered a sickener as Kene, they're pointing for it out wide. Rutherford is anyway, and that's a good flick on. Caio Eduardo still on the field into Dadier. A draw here would be absolutely marvellous. Or it would be better than a defeat, and I'm changing players to just get the fittest on, as we need an in-swinger by Soglo. Very, very poor. I don't believe it. We've got to move on to Wembley in a semi-final, despite absolutely being horrendous in the league. And the league has to be our bread and butter. Do we actually sim this game against Toon? I think we might have to, as when we check the championship, the points tally is as follows. As a neutral, you will love this. Norwich City on 77. Grimsby Town, the Bottle Jobs, on 76. Southampton, 75. We play Watford. And we play Blackburn, who have dropped to 14. Bad form of their own. But can we really afford to simulate Newcastle? I'm just going to say we can't. As you can see, the black and white of the changing room. This is huge. They've got Olanga. They've got, I think that was Nico O'Reilly. And that's Wembley for you, all right. The second view we've got in this save. We had it with the League 2 playoffs, and then we got automatic promotion from League 1. I've simulated 2 Premier League games and won 2 Premier League games back-to-back. They've got Guimaraes still, Trubin. I want to see their team on the lineup. Or I don't, because it's not going to show it. Okay, I'm wearing the away kit. Perfect. The championship team made to struggle. We've probably had the away dressing room as well. Just the 2 changes. Kutuk up front for Dadier, because I do want to save Dadier for the promotion, which we're still chasing. Trubin out. And I don't know if you saw Burgess was retiring. I signed him for over $1 million at the start of the season. Really bad signing, that one, as that's a good ball. Guimaraes, tapping for Cuesta. When we beat the 2 Premier League clubs, we kept clean sheets, and I probably should have simmed this one. We're good in simming against top division sides. But we decided to go on this side Cuesta. Get it? A pun on the name of the player that just scored. And we are losing here at Wembley with 2 vital games up next. Sometimes you've just got to risk it, though. Can we give the fans a goal immediately back? It is Rutherford through the middle. Trubin forced into a save. And we've kept Newcastle to the 40th minute now. Kukuri. Oh, dear. Don't leave Kukuri at the back on his own. I think that's a plan to exploit him as Cuesta. Sneaky little sausage, isn't he? Going to the back post. He was in the right place at the right time for their goal. His attacking positioning. I'd love to see that stat, but Ramsey, his brother, already scoring against us today for Burnley, actually causing this downturn in form as Ramsey gets the ball in. Moise Keane, but Lepage is doing very well. Getting that ball away, and Kutuk, no Akene, no. Rutherford picks up on this ball over the top and just run with it. Darragh Burns from day one, if he scores at Wembley in a playoff or an actual FA Cup semi-final, that would have been glorious. However, half-time, 1-0 down. Usually I'd make a bigger deal than this. About being a championship club in a semi-final, amazing. Of course, Coventry did it, IRL. But come on, we deserve to be actually going up through the league. My mind's still focused on that league. Maybe I need to defocus. Winning this competition will put us in the Europa League. Although I don't think we've got the quality for that either. Maybe the conference as Cuesta into Tonali. Kakuri with the tackle. Kenny with the pass away. And Burns. Slick turn into Rutherford. This is where we need to try and counter against a Prem club. Chip that over the top for Kutuk. Kutuk to just run through. Miroslav hit that on the angle. So close yet again. And Noah Kene not winning his header. Sandro Tonali having to pass back. Louis Miley. Been chased down but not won it. Hasn't Rutherford and Elanga. Anthony Elanga, so much space. Kakuri. We put Moise Kean off, and we've got to go off ourselves on the reggae. Into Rutherford. Caio Eduardo pointing, but he just doesn't run. He's not a getting behind striker, although he almost took the ball. I didn't start with Dadier, I know, maybe a mistake, but I am cooking him as a substitution late on, saving him for the league. Elanga, we all know what happened to Coventry when they reached the semi-finals against Man United. They ultimately bottled promotion. I believe that was in the same season. Oh my days, it was almost over. But here he comes, the gadget. Dadier from Porto. Not a permanent player as well as that's a decent ball in. Moise Kean and Kakuri does well actually to keep it in play. Because if it was a goal kick, their team would have got back. But we need to counter-attack. And this could be all from Maldini. Kakuri, Dadier, he's through! No, you've got to beat Trubin. All those times they would have played each other over in the Liga NOS. It doesn't help us here, and Moise Kean to kill off the game. Counter-attack on a counter-attack. Absolutely unbelievable. But an unbelievable campaign in the FA Cup. And whatever league we're in next season, it'll be more money. As Newcastle, good luck against Chelsea, lads. As we need the luck right here, we play Watford, and we can actually dispatch them, get 4 points clear, and just have Southampton to deal with, who have Bristol City. And the game's changing from our FA Cup run means we can see how they've done, despite him being a bit tired. Dadier forced into the lineup, same as Soglo, as we need to win this one. To turn it all around. This one at Vicarage Road, pitch looking a bit like Grimsby v Wolves. Very damp, but broken. Not much grass to play our football with. And Saeed. Don't let them score first like Southampton did. Very nice. And I've actually experimented here. We have changed Kakuri out of the middle. We've gone with Lepage because he played very well against Newcastle. And Kakuri is a bit of a rushing centre-half. Coming out rather quick and reckless. And Omorege gets it into Lepage, who rushed himself a little bit there. And Rutherford. Let's take our time with this one. Soglo. My days, pass it in the middle, please. Usually he does that. And Saeed into, oh my days, El Garcia! Don't want another moment like that, lads, as Omorege through onto Rutherford. Please just play your normal football. Our strikers aren't scoring, but Dadier with a little ball here. I'm not going to drive that one. And I should have driven it. I should have driven shot. Oh, I'm getting in my head about everything at the moment. But still, that's a cracking ball. Soglo taking the corners now. Our new signing in the last episode. Cameron Janet, the captain. It's hit an arm. It's going to be a penalty. Rosier, the guilty man. He stopped Janet scoring. The captain. And it's going to be Dadier. I didn't drive the last shot, but this one, driving to the top corner. Huge, huge goal. We're going up with one game to go as it stands, but we still need to win this match here to absolutely make sure. And let's go. Noah Kene into Rutherford. Dara Burns. Quick passing. Noah Kene again into Dara Burns again. Just lay it off into Rutherford. If we could get another goal at the start of this second half, it would absolutely kill this game off. Eduardo spins the ball, and I'll just take him off. I'll take him off for Kutuk. I don't want to risk Blackburn as well. We need to keep making rotations. I don't want to risk the in-swinger. Noah Kene walks his way in. Should have scored as well on his way in, as we need to be better from set pieces. The near post ain't working. And Kutuk with a ball again out there. Dadier round the corner. Soglo. Can this be an open game goal? Dara Burns! This is when it matters. Yes, we've made it squeaky bum time, but Dara Burns with a big goal against Watford, killing them off. Was some volley, and we've kept Watford to limited chances, meaning we should just be in a dogfight with Southampton. But El Garcia around the corner, a late goal, okay, 10 added minutes. Not nice, and no clean sheet for Hemming when it comes to showing you the standings at the end of the season. I'm going to pass it around, and I'm confident we don't lose this ball. So it should be all down to Blackburn Rovers in the finale of the season. Southampton drew. They drew with Bristol City. They've chucked it away. So if we just win this game, we are promoted. End of. And hang about. 3 points actually puts us above Norwich City. in the title race. So despite all those bottle jobs, despite all that losing, a win for Grimsby Town will win them the title. Not just promotion, which before this episode you probably expected. Steffi Mavadidi, the top scorer in this league. I'm going to check all these before this final game to bow out with. If we lose it, we've still got another episode where we can recheck and play the playoffs. With Demba Dadier, third top scorer, Osmajic, Damien Downs, Tommy Conway there. That Thomas Waddingham were very good. We've got no other players on that list right there. We've got Dadier on assists. Crazy. Rutherford the same. Soglo's just joined us and picked up 6 assists. Balmy. As I'm flicking through these very quickly, Zach Hemming, who wasn't even a starter this season, has done very well. Up there with Fran Garcia, but still maybe replaced. If we do reach the Premier League, no yellow cards. And on rating, Cameron Gardner has been up there on every single stat. Higher than Dadier, so I can't wait to actually have him back at a 74 overall. Dadier was our top scorer though, 23. Then Dara Burns with 18 at 72. Rutherford with 11 and 11. Caio Eduardo did catch up a bit. Cutups had a really good season. And then Noah Kenny with only 2 goals. Soglo, 7 assists. Everybody signed up for next season, apart from Dadier the loan. And the Premier League is going to be won by Arsenal pretty much. Newcastle will be in 7th. And if we were to stay in this division, it would be Sheffield United, Brentford and Fulham that we face. With Spurs, who won the Carabao Cup in the final against Newcastle. Now I'm really hoping they don't bottle the FA Cup, which they're in the final of as well, with Bolton, Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know why I'm looking at League One, because it is all about this game here. We've got a fully fit team. Dadier, a little bit tired, but if we are to be a Premier League team, we've got to win with this team here. It's Blundell Park as well. And the FA Cup run, despite it being a non-event, despite us not turning up in the semis, could have all led to this right here, allowing us to see other results, to lift the trophy on our own terms at our own ground in this game, which was rescheduled. And Rutherford, come on, we've got to win it, obviously. If we don't win it, we're not just not winning the league, we're not even promoted or guaranteed it. We can still go through the playoffs, but who wants to do that as Rutherford? The team should be realistically up for this. Soglo in the middle, Caio Eduardo. Rutherford, he could have got closer, but he doesn't need to get closer. It's in the top corner. He knew what he was doing, the youngster. Rejected Palace, rejected United. Said he'd stay with his boyhood club, Grimsby Town. And at the edge of the box, finesse plus working out. Look at that. A goal worthy of the Premier League. Fine stuff. Fine stuff. Kakuri. Need to go again, though. Omarege. Not a good pass. Good Johnson jumps at it. Need to now backpedal to Rami. If that's Mo Darami, what a signing, but he's offside. Okay, we'll take every little win we can get, because we obviously need the overall win. Lepage, I don't like that, my friend, though. Defence needs sorting out in the Prem, because we were the best defensive team, and then we had a bit of a crumble. That's another offside there. At least they know how to keep a line, and Omarege through onto Rutherford. No! He should have let that go for Dara Burns. Nowhere the offsides. But if it's a game of offside, just go into either team, I will take it. As we've already reached half-time, and I can almost smell it. Or taste it. It tastes like promotion. And if that is the game goal, winning goal, whatever I'm saying there, I'm in the mood, or I'm in the zone, I will take it. Rutherford. Go on, Dara Burns. You scored a vital goal against Watford, but Rutherford, he tries it again. That time handling it, though. Not the same, as we need to, of course, win this game. I think our goal difference might still get us promoted if we draw, which is the main thing, but I'd love to get that shiny trophy. 2 divisions in a row. As we skipped past Good Johnson. No! No! When I said I wouldn't mind the draw, this is not what I had in mind. Zach Hemming's positioning. Get in the goal, my friend. As we now need a goal again. It's Rutherford running forward. Dara Burns is through there. Dara Burns. Rutherford made a decent run, but they're picking up on everything. Daddy, I didn't drive it low last time, but I do this time. Instant response. Daddy drives it with the yellow boots. Absolutely wonderful. Can we get the money to sign him permanently, please? Please and thank you. That would be wonderful, as the instant response has led to a slight cooldown for us. We need to make sure we don't get ahead of ourselves. Dara Burns! Darabin's in the 83rd! I'm getting excited about something that should have happened organically anyway, but it honestly looks like we're on for the title now after bottling it. 9 points clear, by the way, we were, but then we decided to actually focus on the FA Cup, get a little bit of a run going, make sure our matches are rescheduled to see us win the league if we win this game. Still, Blackburn don't score. Sydney, the ex-Olympiacos winner of the Conference League with a good shot there. And there's going to be loads of added time, but I honestly don't care as Dadier's leaving us. But he is leaving us with a brace and leaving us with a title win. Grimsby Town will be in the Premier League. Johnson just gave us that wake-up call. 4-1, the game ended up. 5 long seasons to actually get here. I guess you could count it as 6, and Cameron McJanet's going to lift it. Potentially a player replaced next season, but I am not going to talk on signings until the next episode where we go ham. If you've got any comments down below, I might not see them before the next episode, but I will consider them for the future as Cameron McJanet alongside Rutherford lifts the championship for Grimsby Town.